We have Major Garrett, Leslie Sanchez, Hogan Gidley. Major Garrett, of course, our chief White House correspondent following the Donald Trump campaign. Leslie Sanchez, CBSN political contributor, Republican strategist, and CBSN political contributor and former, I'm going to get this right one of these days, senior communications advisor for the Mike Huckabee campaign. Ding, ding, ding. Thank you.
That's impressive.
All right.
No
It's
prompter
day
even.
4.
Yeah.
No prompter. Here we go. So let me just start off, first of all, with my Republicans on the panel. What is it, Leslie, that you are hoping to hear from Donald Trump tonight?
Definitely a positive way forward. As much as people think that he is about fear-mongering and, kind of encouraging that type of sentiment and that appealing to this crisis in confidence, harking back to many elections ago, back to the Carter years, it's going to be important and critical for him to lay out specifically what that solutions-oriented plan forward looks like. And I think essentially that's where he's going to be able to win over the confidence of a lot of still undecided establishment voters who are going to have to start thinking about whether they get engaged or sit this one out.
Okay, Hogan, what about you?
I think the broader themes I'm looking for begin with maybe some conversation about Hillary, and we've taken a look at some of the parts of the speech. And what's interesting is I would like him to lay out the case much like Chris Christie did, more factual, not the fear-mongering like Leslie just said. I want to see an actual speech arc here. I want it to go low and tell us where this country is, how far it's fallen, and then the big ending, the finale, is to turn around to the positive message and say, I'm the one who can lead this nation forward. America's best days are ahead of her, and I'm the one to take you there. I think if he does that, this place is going to go absolutely crazy. And if he gives a good speech tonight, a lot of pressure on him to give this good speech after we've seen 3 nights of chaos, for lack of a better word. If he gives a good speech tonight, I think the last 3 days will be erased. It will be a memory, because this is about Donald Trump and his run for the White House with a good speech.
All right, so that's what you would like to see. Major, what do we know about what we actually might see?
Before I get to that, I just want to say one thing. I hope on the stage there isn't an awkward air kiss. And if we can also agree here not to have any awkward air kisses during this whole segment, I think that would be really good.
All
too.
right, fine. I will go ahead and agree to that.
Having established those ground rules,
Okay.
let us proceed.
Okay, fine.
If you talk to those who wish Donald Trump well and call themselves Republican establishmentarians, and there are a few, the thing they will tell you most frequently is the last and most important hurdle that Donald Trump must cross is to persuade in a believable and durable way Americans who are uncertain that he can actually occupy the Oval Office and be a day-to-day president of this country. He's not there. Part of what he has to accomplish tonight is suggesting he has the humility and he has the respect for the difficulty of that job, and a laser-like or something similar to that, pick your metaphor, focus on these deep and hard problems and a comprehension that they are difficult, and he's going to work diligently to try to solve them. And there is something about him that's a little, if not softer, more aware of the burdens of the job, and that he's aware of that but not frightened by that, and then therefore can place himself in the Oval Office, and then the country can feel more comfortable about possibly putting him in the Oval Office. That is also, I would say, around all the other rhetoric and all the other performance questions, the most important priority for the Trump inner circle and Republicans within the establishment who have come on board and wish him well.
I have a question on those lines. Polls now show many Americans, most Americans rather, in the 50s, want to see more specificity in this conversation about where we're going to take this country. How much specificity do you believe we're going to get from Donald Trump tonight? I think he needs a little bit more. How much more do you think?
A little bit, but nowhere near what you're likely to get during next week's Democratic convention.
Exactly.
Hillary Clinton and those close to her believe she has an enormous advantage, sort of a library of white papers and policy positions, and everything is charted in legislative language, or if it isn't, there are pay-fors for everything, and they've got an answer for every policy question imaginable or that they have imagined and put forward. And Donald Trump, generally speaking, does not. You go to the website, there's 6 topics.
Right.
And about 3 pages on each and not very many specifics. And tonight's speech is not going to be one, I have any sense, is going to get not only not deep in the weeds, I don't even think it's going to have a weed whacker effect even at the top layer of the weeds. I think it is largely going to be, these are difficult times. It's going to have, I think, that arc. Seems to me, based on what I've heard and seen, this was an outsourced speech with someone who has an expertise at doing that kind of speech. Down, down, down. This is the problem. Here's the person. Here is the vision. Here we're going to go.
All right.
Beginning, the middle, and end.